What's up, YouTubers? It's your old buddy Hardworker 12, and today I have a 2022 Toyota Venza XLE. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to review this car. First of all, we're going to try to figure out what is a Toyota Venza. We're going to try to figure out if you should buy this or a Toyota RAV4, which I imagine is a common question amongst Toyota clientele. We're going to have a look at the cargo measurements. We're going to look at the passenger room, and we'll look at the features on this particular Toyota Venza. Now, as always, if some of that sounds interesting and some of it sounds boring, check the description below for timestamps. So, what is a Toyota Venza? Well, it is a two-row compact SUV from Toyota with 219 horsepower, a hybrid powertrain, all-wheel drive as standard, and a relatively generous level of standard equipment. So why on earth would you buy one of these instead of a Toyota RAV4? Or, conversely, why would you buy a fancy RAV4 instead of one of these? Well, it is an interesting question. Both the RAV4 and the Venza have the exact same wheelbase, 105.9 inches. They have very similar passenger space. The Venza actually has about 10 cubic feet less cargo room overall than the RAV4. The Venza is longer by about 5 to 6 inches and shorter in height by between 1 to 3 inches, depending on which RAV4 we're comparing it to. But I would say that the Venza is more stylish and sporty looking than the RAV4. Its lower roofline does give it a sleeker appearance. And the other difference with the Venza is it's only available as a hybrid with all-wheel drive. It's just a standard hybrid. There's no Prime model like the RAV4 Prime, which is a plug-in hybrid. There's also fewer models of the Venza. You have the LE, the XLE, and the Limited. The RAV4, the model lineup is 10 pages long. And the all-wheel drive system of the Venza is slightly different from that of the RAV4, it should be noted. The Venza can send up to 80% of its power to the rear wheels, whereas the RAV4 can only send up to 50% of its power to the rear wheels. Well, which one should you buy? I suppose that kind of breaks down to what sort of a budget you're on, because you can get cheaper versions of the RAV4, albeit with less equipment. Which one you like the looks of better? If you're in love with the way the Venza looks, maybe it's the right choice for you. But seeing as how this is 2022 and the whole world is topsy-turvy cuckoo bananas, I think the one you buy might break down to which one the dealer has in stock the day you show up. Now we're going to measure out the cargo space in the Toyota Venza. The length from the rear of the cargo area to the bottom of the back seat with the seat up, 3 feet. The width of the cargo area at its widest point, 4 feet 1 inch. The width of the cargo area at its narrower point in between the wheel wells, 3 feet and 1 inch. The length of the cargo area with the second row seat folded flat, 5 feet and 6 inches. The height of the cargo area at its opening, 2 feet and 3 inches. The height of the cargo area on the interior with the second row seat folded down, 2 feet and 8 inches. And if you need to lift something into the rear cargo area of the Toyota Venza, you are going to have to lift it 2 feet and 8 inches. And just for fun, if we lift up the rear cargo area back here, we have tools and we have a compact spare tire. But hey, at least you get a spare tire. Now we're going to have a look at the passenger space, and for this I like to use myself. I'm 6'5", so let's see if I can sit behind myself in the Toyota Venza. Okay, so as you can see here, I can sit in the front relatively comfortably. My knees aren't touching. I do have enough headroom. In the back, though, My leg room is a little bit limited. I can fit, but my knees are right up against the seat, and I do have enough headroom. And of course I am 6'5", so if you have normal sized people, they'll probably be fine. The passenger room is not bad in this car, but it's not a giant car, so it is what it is. We're going to start a discussion of the standard features at the rear of the vehicle because all Toyota Venzas come standard with keyless access, push button start, power rear liftgate, which is hands-free. If I just kick my foot like so, she opens right up. And of course, I can just push this button here to close it. And to go along with the sporty nature of the Toyota Venza, you do have LED rear taillights. You have an integrated roof spoiler, standard on all models across the range. And you have chrome-tipped dual exhaust pipes for your 2.5-liter hybrid powertrain. Now moving on to the back seat of the Toyota Venza, there's a few features back here. The rear passenger seats do recline. You also have air vents as standard for the rear passengers and 2 USB ports so they can charge their phones and a center armrest with cup holders integrated in it as well. Now moving along to the front seat features, and there are quite a few. All of the things that you would expect to see standard on a vehicle of this price point in this day and age are here. Of course, power windows, mirrors, locks, dual zone automatic climate control, heated front seats, push button start like I mentioned before with keyless entry. If you get the XLE and the Limited, the keyless entry also works on the back doors. If you just get a base LE, it works on the front doors only. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are also standard features, of course. It doesn't work wirelessly. You do have to plug them in physically to get them to work, but at least Toyota is now putting CarPlay and Android Auto in their vehicles. Ambient lighting is included on this particular model because it's an XLE. You also get ambient lighting on the Limited model. It is not included on the base LE Venza, but I'll be honest, you're not really missing out on much because the ambient lighting is not real noticeable on this particular car. One thing that is standard across the whole entire Venza line, which I find kind of impressive, is a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. That is a nice convenience feature. All Venzas have LED headlights and running lights. However, if you get an XLE or a Limited, they're a little bit nicer because on the XLE, you have LED projector headlights and dual LED running lights, whereas they're more basic on the base LE model. Another interesting feature that I've found in the interior here is you do have a decent center console with some space in it, and there's this little cup holder looking thing on the top, but it clearly says not to put cups in it. I don't know what's up with that. The other thing that's in there are these weird sort of silver trim piece looking things that are still in the bag. I have a feeling the original dealer that sold this car did not install whatever this is, so if you have any idea what these things are, please let me know in the comments. Now I want to take a minute and talk about safety systems. The 2022 Toyota Venza does come standard with the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0 system. So this is going to give you the pre-collision system with daytime low-light vehicle and pedestrian detection, plus daytime bicyclist detection. That's essentially like automatic braking and collision warning. Full-speed dynamic radar cruise control. So this is the automated cruise control, and it can bring the vehicle to a complete stop. You have the lane departure alert with the steering assist, so it'll beep at you if you're drifting out of your lane, and it can also correct your steering if you're drifting out of your lane. Automatic high beams, I tested that out last night. It actually does work really well on this car. Lane tracing assist, which works in concert with the dynamic radar cruise control to kind of keep the car within its lane when it can read the lane lines. And road sign assist, so it'll tell you what the speed limit is wherever you are. Now, blind spot monitoring is standard across the range for Toyota Venza, as is the rear cross traffic alert. The blind spot monitoring, I've been driving this car for about a day. It's not super sensitive. It doesn't really pick up cars until they're really right in your blind spot, so you do still kind of need to have your mirrors adjusted accordingly for that. When you get the XLE or the limited model, you also get the front and rear parking assist with the automatic braking. And if you want fog lights, you have to step all the way up to the limited. Now, Toyota also advertises something called the Toyota Star Safety System as standard on this car. The Star Safety System is really just things that are mandated by the federal government, at least in the United States. You get the vehicle stability control, the traction control, anti-lock braking system, electronic brake force distribution, and the brake assist. None of those are automated systems aside from the vehicle stability control. They're just kind of electronic systems within the car that are meant to prevent you to get into an accident, and they've been standard on most cars in the US now. In fact, all cars sold legally for quite a few years. Thank you so much for watching my review of the Toyota Venza. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like my video and subscribe to my channel, and have yourself a wonderful day.